Hi everybody, it's Connie Stewart with SimplySimpleStamping.com. I'm so glad you guys could join me today. It's time for a new DIY 5-minute card. Guys, I think you're going to love this one because it's not your ordinary card. It's got something a little extra special. It's got a window, and our sentiment is going to go nicely inside, and it's again just a little more stepped up version, but guys, this can be made so fast. I think you're going to enjoy it, and I've got more cards to share with you using this same layout, so be sure to stick around. All right, are you ready? Let's get to creating. All right, this is the card we're going to create today, but hey, be sure to stick around to the end of the video because I have 2 other versions of the card, same layout, but we're going to create it very, very differently, and I think you're going to want to see that. All right, let's talk about the supplies we need for our DIY 5-minute card. I have a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and this is cut 5 1/4 by 8 inches, scored at 4 inches. So it's a little bit smaller than a standard card, but not to worry. We're going to layer that on a piece of basic black that is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So you can see that's going to allow our card to just sit right on top. This is a great way to add that pop of color, but it's going to keep the inside of our card white and easy to write on. And for this card, we're going to add just a little bit of designer series paper. This is from my Heart designer series paper. You see, we've got that great shimmer and shine to this foil. It is 3/4 inch by 5 1/4 inch. I'm actually going to be using 2 stamp sets today. So my Layered with Kindness is where I'm going to get my sentiment. See that cute little happy birthday? All the cards you're going to see me make today, we're going to use the same sentiment. And this sentiment also has a matching punch. This is the Label Me Lovely punch. And I do want to make one thing real clear. All 3 cards you're going to see me share with you, pick your favorite sentiment. I chose this one. Look, we have For My Friend, we have a Thank You Kindness, or For Your Kindness. Guys, pick any sentiment that you want and then just come in with your favorite punch. It could be a label punch, it could be a circle punch, you could use your dies as well, whatever makes you happy. But we're going to use the Layered with Kindness. Now, the base of my card, we're going to use a stamp set called Breathtaking Bouquet. Now, the reason I chose this is as a DIY card, I wanted to make it fast, and look at that, 1 stamp, and I'm going to have all of my stamping done. All right, speaking of stamping, let's get to stamping. I'll be using 2 ink pads on this card, Real Red and my Memento Black. We're going to start with the Real Red and our sentiment. Now, the way I'm going to do this is going to be the same on all 3 cards. So I have my happy birthday, and we're going to stamp that down here in the bottom right corner. We're going to come in with the matching punch, and we're simply going to punch out our sentiment. And this is going to leave me a little window, and that's what I really like about how this card goes together. We'll put it together here in just a minute because now we need to stamp that Breathtaking Bouquet, and we're going to do that with my Tuxedo Black. But you know, we could get ink all over the table. We don't want that, so I'm going to bring in some grid paper to keep underneath me. So I will ink up my big background stamp. Before I stamp it, I do want to show you that I left a little edge on this side, okay? So when I go and bring this stamp over, and guys, you're going to love this. It doesn't matter if it's straight or not. I mean, we love that, right? I'm going to press that right there. Give that a really good press. It's a big stamp, so we do want to make sure we're getting pressure all over. And ta-da! That's how we get that great image, but you notice our window is nice and clean. I'll add some snail here to my designer series paper, and that is going to go right here. That's why I wanted that little bit of white showing. I wanted to just let the white kind of peek out. There we go. That's why I said it didn't matter if it was crooked or straight, because it's all hidden, and we love that, right? We can now add this to that basic black cardstock. Hey, while I'm getting the adhesive on here, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, take a minute to click that great big red subscribe button. You're going to find lots of stamping inspiration here on my YouTube channel. All right, there is the base of our card. Now it's time to add that sentiment. And we're going to add that with Stampin' Dimensionals. Now I think too you're understanding why I stamped my sentiment and punched before I did my card. This saved me cardstock. I didn't have to bring in an extra piece of Whisper White in order to stamp my sentiment. I mean, why? We're going to have that window anyway, so we're going to use it. All right, we're going to take that sentiment. I'm going to lay my card flat, and we can just add that right inside our window. I don't want to press that down until I'm sure that I've got it straight, and I can see that I don't. Yep, little helpful tip. Don't ever press anything down until you're sure you are centered. And when I'm standing over my card the way I am when I shoot videos, sometimes it's very hard to see. So I'm going to give that another shot. There we go. All right, we've got our sentiment. Now that is all put inside. We're going to add a little bit of ribbon, because don't you think this needs just a little bit? I just thought this basic black satin ribbon would be really nice and shiny. It has kind of the same shine as I have there on that foil paper. So I'm just going to make a simple knot. I'm going to take that knot, press it onto a mini glue dot, and let me bring in my original. So I did this one off to the side. I could do this one up at the top, whichever way. It's kind of nice to add just that little bit of ribbon. So there is a fun, oh, and you notice now we have that little dimension with our sentiment on the inside, and that kind of makes it extra special. All right, I promised you 2 more cards, so let me show you what I've got. My next card was created with the Tropical Chic stamp set. I love this one, and on this card I stamped my sentiment and punched just like you saw me do before, and then I just stamped randomly all over the card. I did that with that card open. Granny Apple Green, Melon Mambo, and Daffodil Delight were my color choices, and then there's the basic black, because I thought that with that satin ribbon again just made it pop. And you can see I just tied my ribbon and tied it here in a knot on the side. I thought that one was really fun. So if you didn't have a big background stamp, pick your favorite stamp set and stamp like crazy and have some fun. I love random stamping. What's not to love about this card? Isn't this cute? Now this one I did strictly with designer series paper, so talk about a fast 5-minute card. I do want to show you a couple little tricks to doing this with the designer series paper. All right, let me show you. All right, so just as you saw me do before, I'm going to take, this time I'm going to use Bermuda Bay, and I'm going to stamp that same happy birthday down here in the bottom right corner. And I need that window to be perfectly straight. Well, I obviously can't cut it or cover it up, so we're going to put this behind. Line up your designer paper, make sure it is good and straight. Hold on to it tightly, and now I'm going to slide in my punch, and I'm going to punch through both those layers. I'll save this and use it on another project. This piece I can just adhere right over. I hope you guys are enjoying the different versions of my 5-minute card. If you are, I would love a thumbs up there on YouTube. Thank you guys so much for those. I love to see thumbs up. We're going to add this right here to our card. I'm just lining it up right there in that window. Let me go ahead and bring in my original, and you can see we just added our happy birthday with the Stampin' Dimensionals the exact same way. I used my Bermuda Bay striped ribbon, and my background color there is the Mango Melody. So you see we had a little Mango Melody in that designer series paper, and I thought that made for an awfully bright card. Let me bring all 3 DIY 5-minute cards in for you to see. There you go. So real quick, you can make a card using one of our big background stamps. Boom, stamp it, you're done. This one, randomly stamped, used several different colors, created another really great card. But boy, another lickety split. A little bit of designer series paper, that one stamp. And guys, that's a great way to create a fabulous 5-minute DIY card. Thank you guys so much for joining me for today's DIY 5-minute card. I hope you enjoyed what you saw. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to give me a thumbs up and share with a crafting friend. I'd always appreciate that. Have a fabulous day, my friends. We'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.